All right. Beautiful. So thank you for being patient with me as I'm getting my voice back, and I've got my water here. But let's start off um, with drawing a card. So let's get a card for today. I know the card before was yesterday was or Monday was crow. Let's see what's in the field today. So the animal that is here for us today is it's the quail. It's the quail. So here you go. Quail medicine. And quail is about humility, stillness, and disentanglement. While there's no need to hide your light, this time calls for stillness and laying low. That kind of sounds like me right now. Sometimes the softest voice with the most humble message is the one that holds the greatest wisdom. Disentangle from drama and noise. Remember that certain matters don't concern you. And Jennifer's saying disentanglement, yes. So we're going to do just a quick meditation to get centered, because I know there's still a lot of women that aren't here. I'm going to give them a moment to join us. And then I want to share a little story about what happened to me yesterday, which is quite fascinating. I think there's many lessons, many layers to it. And then today really is set up to really see how, how did the call Monday impact you? What's going on with you? We'll do some laser coaching. Yeah, and we're just going to let spirit guide us. So as more women are coming in, here comes Teresa. And I'll be kind of with one eye open. Actually, Jennifer, can I make you co-host in case I get knocked out for some reason? Beautiful. All right, so we're going to make Jennifer co-host that way. Beautiful, because I have gotten that thing where it says your internet connection is unstable. And as you see, I'm not where I normally am. I'm in my comfy chair right now, being gentle with myself. So can you all hear me okay? I know my voice isn't that loud right now. Okay, all right. So let's take a moment to close our eyes, turning inward. And breathe all the way down into your belly. Feeling into the source of your power. Then bring your hands palms up in that reverent state of receiving. That's it. As we call in our angels and our guides, we call in the wisdom keepers and the leaders of the light, the ascended masters. We call in quail and crow. We call in bat and tiger and the playfulness of dolphin. And one of my favorites, we call in wolf. And take a moment to call in any animals that you are currently connecting to. And then above your head, I want you to imagine going beyond the beyond, connecting to that spark from where you came. That's it. And like grabbing a star and bringing it down into your womb. Bring that light, allow that light in through the top of your head and anchor it into that first, second, and third chakra. Feel your light. Orient to oneness, to the heavens, to the Father, to that Christ consciousness, allowing the light to fill every cell of your being. And then anchor your energy all the way down into the center of the earth, feeling yourself grounded, connected to Mama Earth. Feel her nourishment. Feel your energy grounded. That's it. And then feel the flow now coming from the center of the earth, drawing it up like you're drinking water from a straw. Draw it up, up, up from your feet, up your legs, up your spine, up and out the top of your head. As you are now flowing from heaven above and the earth below, just feel yourself as a channel. And then now see yourself on sacred land, wherever that is in the world. Call upon a sacred site that maybe you know of, sacred to you or sacred to a certain nation. That's it. And see your feet on the ground. I see my feet in red sand. And then see your sisters in a circle, the ones that are here today, and your sisters from this lifetime and other lifetimes. See us gathered. And extend your hands down by your side, opening your hands, the left hand up, the right hand down, holding hands in circle as we gather to connect, to uplift, to transform any energies that no longer serve us across all time, spaces, dimensions, and realities. Calling the light up the left arm, across the heart, and down the right arm as you see the energy moving, 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 as it heals you and cleanses you. You feel the light, you feel the connection, you feel the sisterhood, and you feel unshakable. That's it. Allow yourself to be cleansed, to be healed, to be supported and loved as you stand your ground for your mission on the planet this lifetime. And even if you're not sure what it is, feel into the knowingness that it will be revealed, and it is being revealed with the crumbs of creation as you are on your path. That's it. That's it. You can go ahead and set an intention for our call today, thinking about how you want to feel by the end of our activation and integrations. Set that intention, breathe it into the circle, knowing that each breath you breathe, you're connecting to the breath of creation. That's it. Release your hands in this said circle. And in this time, bring your hands up to your heart right here and now. Feel that connection with the divine, with the divinity of our sisters. And then when you're ready, you can open your eyes, coming back into the room. As you look into each other's eyes with our circle today, with a gentle nod, I see you. I see your brilliance. And with that, let's just start with, as I said, I want to share with you a little story, and then we're going to do a check-in, and then we're going to do hot seats today. I know we will be guided. So, so yesterday I pretty much was in bed all day. Not all day though. I did the Lionsgate activation. I know I saw Allison was there. We had somebody else from our group. Was it Jennifer? Jennifer was there. Really beautiful, really beautiful. And, yesterday was a sacred day, 8/8, and you can think of it as a sign of infinity, right? And yeah, it was just beautiful. It was absolutely beautiful as this gate, this portal opened, and we're still in the energy of it. So it's not too late to set your intentions for this next level of abundance as we are all committed to living the limitless. And maybe it might be a recommitment to what that means for you, a re-envisioning, or just recommitting to what you already in your heart said that you want to create. So as you all know, one of the things I love to do is to go to the float tank, and they had scheduled me last night, and I knew that it was Lionsgate portal, and I thought, can I lay in that tank without like coughing my head off? And I was like, no, it'll be all right. It'll be all right. So as I showed up, the gal up front, she goes, she's like, I'm so sorry. She goes, I know you love the tranquility tent, but I have somebody in there right now. And I apologize because I know that you really like that, but we put you in the samadhi tank. Now, historically, the Samadhi tank was always my favorite because it's the oldest tank and it's this big rectangle, and it doesn't have all the bells and whistles of their newer tanks where like you're in this like pod and the thing slowly opens up, and there's like you could, you know, you have this gentle light that you can put on, or you can push the button if you need help. Like it's like high tech. Whereas the Samadhi tank is literally just like old school float tank. And for those of you who haven't experienced this, highly recommend it. And so, you know, when I go, I generally set an intention, and it's every experience is very different. And really, I think my intention, some of it was like, can I just not cough? And can I just be present? And so there I was laying in the tank, and I went to other realms. And so I don't know if I must have dozed off, or who knows. But here's what I remember is I kind of like opened my eyes, and I was like, wow, I wonder how long I've been floating. And right as I thought that, and I remember this is kind of, I think it was inspired by, there was a movie, and I think it may have been Shawshank Redemption, but where like someone was like breathing out, and I don't remember if it was butterflies or whatever, but I saw this vision of me breathing out like all of these bats, and bat is the medicine of rebirth. And I'm like, whoa, that's wild. And of course, I've been in conversation of I'm being upgraded. This isn't a cold. This is next level. I'm cleansing, even though it can be quite uncomfortable. So that was what I saw. And then the next thing you know, I was like, it was starting to get warm, and I was starting to feel a little uncomfortable. And I was like, and I've never done this, but I was like, I just need a little fresh air because it's total black. And this float, I decided no sound, no music. I just wanted to be in that oneness. And so I went and I put my hand up, which normally there's just a door, and the door just opens, and it's really easy. You just go like this and it opens up. And I went, and it's locked there. It doesn't move. And you're in complete silence. Like you put your hand right here and you can't see it. And I thought, that's kind of odd. So I pushed to the other side, nothing, like complete solid wall. And like a pantomime, in the box, I'm like pushing up against any of the things that I can feel, nothing, pure box, like locked. Like, and I was like, and then I had this like, oh shit moment. Like, what if like I'm locked in here because the door is locked? You have that moment of panic. And it's like it was like the beginning, not like a full-blown panic attack, but my heart starts like beating. I'm like, and it's getting now the air feels really heavy and dense, and like the blackness, if there could be a deeper black, it was like I was in the womb and couldn't get out. And I'm like, all right, Kelly, chill out. It's all okay. And so I just started feeling around, and we've been in these times in our lives where it's dark and you're uncertain and you're thinking, where is the light? Where are the answers? Where's the path? I feel locked. I feel trapped, and I'm feeling it. And then all of a sudden I start to feel like some holes. There's like these holes, and I feel a pipe, like not the container I was in. Like, this is weird. And then I had this moment like, well, there's no way I could get turned around because it's a rectangle, right? And the length of your body is not the width of it. Like, there's no way I could be turned around. So I'm feeling, I'm like, okay, spirit guide me. I know it's okay. Like, this is all going on. And then there was that moment where like one place that I put my hand, it lifted, and there's the light and the fresh air that comes just whoosh, coming in. And I took a deep breath, and I was like, I just need to get out of this damn thing for just a minute. And I got out, and like I reoriented to our here and now. And I knew that just like being on a horse, you fall off, what do? You're meant to jump back in or jump back on. So I got back in it, and I share this story. It's a metaphorical story for all of us, for wherever that darkness is, wherever you feel like I have no idea what to do next, to just take a moment and presence yourself. And you might feel really disoriented, right? Like somehow I literally got 180 degrees turned in the tank, and I have no idea how that happened. And just to take that moment, because everything comes from the void, everything. And think about being, not that you necessarily can remember, but being in the womb. It was dark and you were growing. You were connected to the infinite. And there's that moment that you took your first breath and you went from mama world. Well, you came from the infinite, and then you're growing in your mama's womb, and you took your first breath. And so wherever you are in this journey, I want you to know that whatever your dreams are, they might not, you can't see them yet. And you're going, where is it? Where is it? And you feel like there's a lock, there's, and everywhere I pushed, it was pushing it up against me. And I'm like, I'm not going to freak out and break this thing, and just to not panic, but you'll be guided. And before you know it, you'll take the breath and you'll see the light. And you'll transition from the unmanifest to the manifest. And all those hopes and dreams and desires of oneness, like you're already there. And so I wanted to share that with you because those bats that came out of my mouth as I exhaled in this vision of maybe I was in an altered reality, I have no idea. But rebirth is here, and you are being born into a new way of being in the world, going through this course. And so it's okay if you can't see the light right now, but I promise you it's here. Just stay present, stay calm, don't freak out. You're exactly where you're meant to be. And you'll be guided. You'll be guided, and you'll press that. And then I was like, who put that door there? Like it was always there. It was always there. It's kind of like, what do they say? Don't run as fast as you can in the direction of the east, hoping that you're going to see the sunset, because the sun rises in the east and sets in the west. Like sometimes you need to turn around, create a different perspective. So this is what I wanted to share with you today because I felt like it needed to be shared. Dr. Christy, where is it located? It's called Radiate Float. And they're right here in Boulder, and they're amazing. They just changed ownership. In fact, again, change with the new ownership. They had these beautiful murals that I miss. But anyway, yeah, I highly suggest it, because where else can you go where like you literally can't feel that separateness between me and like the water, everything. And it really, I think it's beautiful for the mind. And if you can, do silence, like deep silence, it's so powerful, and it's so good for the brain and the nervous system. So yeah. All right. Trust in the process. So with that, let's do a quick check-in, and check in specifically around, what has anything shifted even since Monday, or things that you're noticing, or let's do a quick round robin and then we'll do some laser coaching. Allison, you want to start us off?
Yes, happy to. So I feel like I need to share. Usually I'm the quiet one, right? So
for some reason I was like, I can put Allison first today.
Honestly, this summer has been a trip mentally, in business, with relationships. It's been good. We've had a lot of cancellations at the gym. Summer, that happens. Attendance goes low, but there's been a lot of cancellations. Have just felt really alone. Like I feel like I don't have connections, like real connections. I've got hundreds of people in my life.
Yeah.
I feel like everything is just superficial. Everybody's just in my life. We're just there. I don't feel deep, solid connections with anybody. And this is not a pity me. This is an aha moment.
Wow.
So I am welcoming everything that I'm experiencing. So being alone, feeling alone is okay. I feel really grounded in all this experience. And then we just had a coach quit because she wants to grow and be challenged. And, I didn't take it personally, but what I did realize is I knew she wasn't a good fit, and I didn't say anything or act on it. So
Okay.
I'm taking ownership that if you feel something, act on it, do it. So this was a good lesson. But I feel unshakable, and everything that I've been
Wow.
experiencing, this like sadness, this not feeling connected with anybody. I feel like I'm just on a freeway with all these fast cars and everybody's just disconnected, but I'm feeling whole. And I've never felt that before. I've always been worried, like, I've always just been so spastic in my head and like getting things done. I mean, I own a business and then I work full-time job and I have a daughter and a husband. I personal train on the side. Like we all are so busy, but I'm finally like, I know who I am. And I think all of that, long story short, all of this summer's sadness, feeling alone, experiences is what got me to where I am right now. And I'm so thankful. Like, I am so thankful that all that happened to me. I guess the dark is bringing the light. So,
Wow.
yeah.
Thank you so much for your vulnerability. And as you share, I'm reading your energy, and you are more grounded and in your body, and there's a depth of calm that I can't say I've ever seen in you. Like I see it. I don't know, ladies, if
Yeah.
you see it, but it's just like, it's so profound. And so what you're
Thank you.
experiencing, I feel it and I see it and I'm experiencing it in your sharing.
Yeah. I know that was a really long, it was a long, like, I've even questioned like this group. I'm just being raw. Like, I don't feel a connection, but it's okay because there's a reason I'm here. So I'm not over analyzing things like I used to. I mean, I would freaking sleep 3-4 hours a night because I'm over analyzing everything. And I'm like, I can't. I just gotta trust whatever is in my life is there for a reason. So I
Wow.
feel good. I feel really good.
Wow. Dr. Christie says confidence. Dr. Christie, you want to unmute yourself and share?
Yeah, just more of a confidence. I mean, you said ease or she said peace or comfort, but it just there seems to be a little bit more of a confidence in the direction of making changes in your life. And making changes is, it invokes a lot of fear and uncertainty and
Mhm.
insecurity and doubt for all of us. And as you go through that over and over and over again and make these changes and realize that on the other side that you're okay. In fact, if anything,
Mhm.
you're stronger, that builds confidence. And so that's what I see.
Yeah,
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, I mean,
absolutely.
I've even fired students and I'm okay with it. And I'm not being an asshole. I'm standing strong and I'll tell them, you're not a good fit. I'm sorry. Like, I've got to do what's best for me. I've always done for everybody else. And if
So
it comes off me being hard and I'm not being mean, it doesn't feel right. And I'm going off of my feelings now. So
that's huge.
yeah.
That's huge. And as I said, like your core, I know your physical core is rock solid, right?
Mhm.
But your core, energy core is like, it's so grounding. It's so confident. Like I can't imagine you coming from a place that would be edgy or like mean, or it's like you're reclaiming your power in a
Mhm.
whole new level. And that word unshakable is resonating as you're sharing. And the other thing that I'm seeing in that groundedness is there's a gentleness about it too. There's a feminine softness within this anchoring. And so it's like bringing in all those pieces of you in this new way of being and interacting with the world. So it's like, yeah, you're shedding
Mhm.
those people and that no longer serve you.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, so beautiful. What a beautiful share. What a beautiful, and thank you for your vulnerability. All right, who would like to share next?
I will.
Hmm.
I'm just gonna say that I have never been in so many challenges in my life at the same time, and I've had a very difficult life. And I know that I'm becoming unfuckable with, to the core as all this happens. And I'm being called to give some really harsh messages that honestly I don't like to do, but by golly, if I'm told to do something by the divine, I'm doing it. And so I'm driving to Arizona on 3 hours of sleep because multiple people that were invited to do that activation with me didn't listen to the guidance. And I can't tell you how many people out of 12 got sick. How funny is that? How interesting.
Whoa.
So now I was told yesterday when I found out the chunk of them were sick, and that, you know, I no longer had a ride to the airport or Sedona, and like everything got mumble jumbled. I was told to leave with my son. And so I did. I mean, 8 hours of driving, I get stuck in the mud. I'm so grateful. I mean, I was puking. And it's like everyone's slow. We spent about 4 to 6 hours at the ER. My son is still puking, so I'm driving with one hand while, you know, helping him with his puke bags. And I'm just like, holy fuck. And the message that came today was that it's, you know, I need to, and I'm proud, I'm staying peaceful and calm, and I know it's all happening for us, but like, how committed am I when shit hits the fan? Because that's when the majority of people fall out.
Exactly.
When it becomes inconvenient.
Yeah.
And there's a level of like, I got to release it, and I am going to, because I know all this is coming up, but bitterness. I'm like, I'm constantly getting more put on my plate because people are following through. The reason why my son's sick, my brother is being paid to watch him. I ask him every day if he pooped. Well, he didn't poop in 5 freaking days, so he's completely impacted. So that's why he's suffering so bad.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
And you know, obviously the breakup and everything happens for me. Okay, great. But fudge.
Yeah.
I'm ready for a little bit of break. I am grateful for all the wins, and I'm winning every single day, and I'm super thankful for it. And I'm ready for ease, complete ease. And two-sided relationships. I'm completely done with one-sided relationships.
Yeah.
Completely.
Absolutely. All right. Oh yeah. So thank you for speaking that. So you're in a challenging position right now, and lot going on. Yeah. Yeah. So receive. Teresa, you're here to receive. We're going to pour into you. Can you still hear us? You may have lost her. Okay. All right. Who would like to share next? What's up for you? Because I think we lost Teresa.
I'll go.
Yeah.
So I also got sick.
No way.
Yeah, well, I went to Peru, as you guys all know. I was gone for about 10 days.
Yeah.
And then I got a gut infection. I thought it was just like a, you know, food poisoning, and they said don't brush your teeth with the water, and I was like, oh, bummer. But we were staying at a really nice retreat, a really nice kind of resort place just outside of Cusco in the Sacred Valley of Peru. But a few other people started getting sick, and I was like, oh, I think it's kind of one of those like GI viruses, like the norovirus that people get on cruise ships. And so it was kind of going around in the different groups. And I think I mentioned that was on the day of Machu Picchu, the day that our entire group was going to go. And it takes a long time to get there, not only to get to Peru, the Sacred Valley, but to get there. And so I was like, that's just shitty timing. And so, of course, I was trying to look at it from a different perspective of, okay, what kind of cleansing and release. And as I mentioned, my word for the week was surrender. With what has been happening with my dog that I shared a few weeks ago, that I had been considering rehoming her. When the opportunity came up for this family to take her, I wasn't happy with the way it was handled, and I wasn't happy with the family. And I made a decision under duress and stress, and it just all happened so fast. And when I went to go talk with them, I didn't feel like this was a good fit for my dog, that's when they came unglued and the police came in. There was restraining order requests, and then the hearing had to take place when I was in Peru, because it has to happen within 2 weeks. And so I had to go to like a special room to get Wi-Fi, and I was like, this is shitty timing. So again,
Get that in Peru. Wow.
I had to do that. It was like 2 days after the retreat started. And so I had to, it was like a 15-minute. So when I was there, the judge, of course, they were there in the courtroom in person in Boulder. And because I was in another country, I had requested to continue it, meaning continued so that I could be there in person. But the judge, she proposed, she's like, well, instead of, you're out of the country, rather than continue it for another few weeks, why don't we just, I can authorize a temporary restraining order for 12 months. And then if nothing happens within 12 months, then it gets dropped. And of course, the other two people are like, sure. And I'm like, no, I'm okay. Like, I don't need a restraining order. Like, all this happened. You guys are partially accountable for everything that has happened too. And the fact that they were just not taking ownership. So I said no. And she said, okay, well, we're going to then continue it for August 14th. And so I was holding on to a lot of that the whole week. It was causing me a lot of stress. My stomach was in knots. I was trying to be present, right? So there was a polarity that week of trying to enjoy community and the beauty of this Sacred Valley and this, very expensive trip, very expensive. And I actually had many beautiful moments of surrender and serenity and connection and community and aha moments and insight and great food. And there was a lot of beauty to that. But I was also trying to see the silver lining and the underlying blessings of the whole week. And so the hearing is continued until the 14th, which is next Monday. So I am practicing surrender and release and expecting the best outcome for everybody. And I'm not putting a lot of attention to it, which maybe I should, but I'm also like, I just want this behind me. I can't get my dog back. And or do I even want? I don't necessarily want her back. I mean, I love her and I miss her. And I was looking at videos last night on my phone crying, of course. I miss her and I miss certain parts of her in my life. But ultimately it comes down to my freedom and my happiness and her happiness too. Not happy that she's with these freaking sociopaths, but whatever. Like, it happened as it happened, and I need to let that go. And so kind of what I'm realizing, and then I got home early Monday morning and then got this cold. And I also have a foot injury. So like you talk about with your biological upgrade, Tracy and I are big into Dr. Joe Dispenza. He talks about the same thing when you go to a retreat, a biological upgrade. And it just occurred to me, like this morning, I was like, well, maybe all this is happening because of the changes that the psychological, emotional, physical changes that I went through in Peru. And of course, the time leading up to that, of letting go and release. And sometimes when we hold on to things too long, whether it's an old business, an old outdated habit, or something in your life that you need to detach from, sometimes the universe really makes it happen for you, and in a way that you don't expect, in a way that you're not prepared for. And so that's kind of the way that I'm looking at everything. And so now that I've gotten a chance to get better sleep, I'm still sick, but I feel like now I can move forward, or at least, assuming next Monday goes okay. And I'm sure it will. I'm ready to move forward, and I'm ready for this new evolution of this new business I'm creating, and this new life of having more freedom, so I can go out and connect with more people, and be out and about, and have this sense of adventure, and commune with other people locally, of course, all through, internet, through Zoom too. And I feel like, yeah, I feel like I'm in a different place. A lot of stuff.
You're in a totally different place. Like, I see it. Like, I see that there is, you're in a beautiful place of non-attachment. And what I see is your commitment to freedom and that surrender of how it all looks, but that it all unravels from a place of divinity, So it's like, you're in a totally different place. Right. And yeah, so I really want to acknowledge you for that, because that takes a lot of work. And I think for those of us who are having some of the physical symptoms come up right now, it's like, yeah, what if you looked at it as we're all being upgraded, right? And I know that's happening for me, especially after yesterday, like breathing out bats, like that's some weird stuff, right? But we are being asked to be rebirthed, and it's a new level of alignment around what our soul's meant to be. I mean, Dr. Chrissy, you are here to do the work that's been placed on your heart for some time now. It's time, right? And to weave in the energy of Allison's, like, she's unshakable, right? Like, as she brings the energy of unshakable, with you bring the energy of surrender, like, we're all bringing our gifts. I'm bringing right now that energy of rebirth, right? So you're in a very different place, very Zen-like, non-attachment to the highest order, and whatever that looks like. And what if we could, have that relationship to what is unwinding in our lives? Like Teresa, I mean, I know she must have gotten cut off, but like, as she was sharing, she's in a lot of turmoil right now. There's a lot going on that doesn't feel good. But I know that Jennifer posted in our group, and we all think, we all, like, for a hot minute, we're like, yeah, I know it's all happening for us. And there was a term like paranoia versus pronoia. Like, there's this whole, it was really cute. If you didn't see it, check it out in the Facebook group. But like, what if all of this was good? All of it, even the things that we look at as dark. What if it were all designed to bring us back to the light? So that's the biggest thing I'm seeing in you, even in your field. I'm not seeing the courting, like, there's just your whole field is just clear. So way to go. So thank you for bringing the energies of surrender and keeping your word, freedom. That's your word. Yes. That's the target. Right. And then having everything else aligning to the highest good. And that is what, you can bring forth and speak, which you're actually embodying it, that's the distinction. We can say something, but unless it's anchored in ourselves, it's just a saying until it is anchored. So your cells are hearing, listening, and vibrating at that resonance. Make sense? Yeah.
Thank you.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Yeah. Tracy, you want to share next?
Yeah, I wrote down two things when people were talking. I noticed that a lot of people were finding like polarity and trust coming up right now for them. And I wanted to write those down because it felt like those were two words to kind of describe like where I'm at right now. It's a really weird place. I decided I was coming home for this instead of sitting in a school right now. So I came home because I was pretty close to home to do this. But I'm feeling really interesting emotions being back. My principals, they all love me in all the schools I'm at, and they're all so grateful. And I mean, they're bending over backwards for me right now, which is super nice. And so last Friday, like my team went back on Thursday, and last Friday we were doing these presentations on who we were to the group. And I haven't done mine yet, but the last person to go on Friday, new person to the team, and and they've rewritten my job description. And not anything wrong with people of varying degrees levels, but when I was hired, you needed at least a master's degree. Licensure as a licensed mental health professional in the state of Colorado was required, and at least 5 years of experience working with high-risk youth. I mean, most of the core team of 6 that were hired had 26 plus years of experience each.
Wow.
So we have a highly clinical, highly like solid team. And so that's where most of us are standing. Well, they hired some new people, and the last person to do her presentation on Friday, she's from Costa Rica. She speaks fluent Spanish, which I know Boulder Valley really wants to, you know, create diversity and have a Spanish speaking person. And she's still in school.
Wow.
The job description now to you only need a bachelor's degree to do the job that they hired the rest of us for. And then she closes out her segment by saying, I am the part-time mental health worker.
Oh, which is what you wanted, right?
I asked to go to a reduction of hours to part-time, and they told me it was not okay. It was not allowed in the position that I'm in. And then I find out, and I'm gonna like talk to her more about this, but it sounds like she can't do full-time because she's still in school. Now, I asked to go to part-time for health reasons, and I'm told that that's not an option for my position. Yet I think they're making this accommodation because they just wanted more diversity, and she couldn't do that. They couldn't hire her unless they hired her part-time. So I'm really trying to stay centered and calm and not let this throw me, because I spent so many days prepping my head for this year that I'm going to go in and I'm going to be positive. And that with the amount that my dog's surgery cost me, it was probably better that I was back full time so I can have some money if, you know, I need it when I go to part time. So I'm really trying to like trust the universe that this is happening for a reason. But I also feel like my next steps are talking to a lawyer about this, because I do feel it was discrimination. And so I'm really like trying not to get super angry, but I am angry because if she got a part-time position, that means one of the other new people sitting in there is also part-time.
Whoa. Okay.
So that means there's at least two part-time people that were hired on my team.
And probably for a lot less money would be my guess too. With your
of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
So what I want to do with you first, I am so sorry. Because as women, it's like we're meant to stuff the anger, not meant to. We're conditioned to push it down. So here's what I want you to do if you're willing to do it. I want you, and we can mute you if it feels more comfortable. Actually, maybe that's what I'll do. I want you to make the sound of how you really feel, and I want it to be unleashed. Like because I want you to connect with the energy so that you don't just bypass it and get right into the brain to fix it all. Are you willing to do that?
I don't even know. Like
that's okay. Like, that's okay.
But it's like, are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
Like, seriously.
Yeah, no, I know. Like, so just try it. And ladies, if you want, turn the volume down. Actually, I do want to. I want you to stand up because I want you to get in touch with like the raw, primal, powerful woman that doesn't get stepped all over and taken advantage of. Like if you heard this story from someone else, I want you to get in touch with like your anger is the anger of the divine feminine. This enough is enough is enough is enough. Are you willing?
It just feels like when you tell me that, it's just, I just want to give up. Like,
yeah,
it's like it's just like this whole like collapsing feeling, because it's like,
so that's the deeper stuff, because you're devastated. But there's a step that's right above that that is easy to bypass, that's going to be so therapeutic. And we're all going to hold you in a sacred chalice. And actually, let's do this so that it can be modeled to you. Ladies, raise your hand if you're actually really good at expressing anger. I'm not good at this. This is something I'm still learning in my journey. Okay, Dr. Christy. Dr. Christy, will you play with us here to help Tracy heal this? This is so important for us as women. Okay, so Dr. Christy, what I want you to do is model for us. And ladies, you might want to turn the volume down on your thing right now, because it's going to come. I want, Dr. Christy, I want you to tune in to Tracy's anger and the anger of the divine feminine, that we are sick and tired of not being heard. Can you tune into that, Dr. Christy?
I can tune into it. I'm angry for her, but it
I know.
needs to come from
So,
her.
But she needs to hear it, because there's a vibration to it. We all probably need to hear it to connect, because this has happened to her, and she's been conditioned to some degree as not to feel it, because it's not been maybe safe.
How about, yeah, I know how to show anger. I just feel like maybe she needs to grab, I keep seeing a pillow and either punching the pillow like on your couch, Tracy, or screaming into it. Like, I feel like you need to hit something that is obviously soft and non-human or non-animal, and then just scream into it. Like, I feel like it's got to come from her, because I feel angry for her. And Tracy and I have had, I love Tracy. She and I had a beautiful conversation before I went to Peru about this whole dog thing. And I know what she's going through with her job and her, like,
oh, she's going to do it for us.
Yeah. I feel her, her anger. And I think she said she wants to give up, and you said devastation, but I feel like deep is anger, like deep to the core is truly like I put in the chat here, disregard. Like that was basically like, yeah, we don't care all that much about you, so we're going to choose this other person, even though, yes, you've been with us for so many years. It's a slap in it's a punch in the gut.
But they lied. They lied. They said that it was not possible, that it wasn't an option with my position.
Oh, I know. Oh, so you're getting in touch with it. This is good. This is good.
I mean, they lied.
Yeah, they totally lie. So here's what I want, because this is going to be an exchange of, this is what happened when women can gather. There used to be, in some circles, they would have women, it was the wailing wall, and everyone would yell. And the only reason I'm not having everyone do it right now, first of all, I can't. And maybe we should all do it then. Would that feel, let me ask you, Tracy, what would feel more supportive? Because I am going to want you to voice it and be witnessed. Would you feel more comfortable if everyone does it with you? Of like the divine feminine not being heard, because this is the energy that we need to express, or else this is going to continue. It's going to continue. So what would feel more supportive?
I think if we all did it together.
All do it together then. All do it together. So here's going to happen. Turn the volume. I'm not going to participate because I've already have a voice that's not doing so hot. But everyone stand up. Stand up. And we're going to make the sound of the divine feminine when she is pushed aside, when she's stepped on, when she's, taken advantage of, like all the things, the divine feminine. It's time. We have to have a voice. Jennifer, if you're in a public space, okay, you don't have to. All right. But maybe you just make the feel the energy of it and go, okay.
Are we actually yelling, or are we just like, should we put it on mute?
Can we put it on mute?
Put it on mute.
That might be really loud.
Yeah. Get in touch with that. Ready? Stand up. And this is the sound that's going to resonate, and we won't hear it then. It'll be the sound of silence for a moment, which is fine. And when I'm going to say 3, 2, 1, and y'all give me your best at the anger that you feel when you've been taken advantage of, when women have been, all the horrible things that have happened to women, and we haven't given ourselves the right to feel anger. Okay, ready? Yell the anger that you feel for Tracy and for all of us. Ready? 3, and play full out. 10 out of 10. 2, 1, unleash the anger. Do it. Let it out. Come on. Oh, Allison's doing it. Let it out. Let it out. Come on, Dr. Christy, let it out. primal anger. Yep. Let it out. Yell it out. Dr. Chris, you're too nice. Come on, let it out. Find it. Okay, wait a second. We might have to have Allison show us. Allison, unmute yourself. Oh, grounded, unleashed one.
So I am in a public place, but I could
Oh, you are
definitely do
too.
it with my body. Yeah.
All right. So I saw.
No, but I have no problem screaming. Like, I will do it for Tracy. I'll do it for all us women. Like, we do. Tracy's so composed all the time and so professional. They fucked you over.
They did.
Like, you have every right to be pissed and sad and everything. Like, why can't you just march in there and say, this is not right? Like, it's wrong.
Yeah, and I want to get like I want to kind of get my data behind me. I want to like talk with the woman like one-to-one and just be like, "Oh, welcome to the team. Like, here you're part-time. How'd that happen? I didn't see a part-time position like advertised." Like, because I even had told them, if you create a part-time position, I want that position.
Yeah, I know. It's yours. It's yours.
And my boss had told me she was fine with me taking a part-time. It was the human resources that told me it wasn't an option.
Wow.
So, I mean, I think I just need to get info, and I have a prepaid legal service that I've had for years. And so I think I'm going to go to them. And, there was an issue with my salary where they hired me on at a certain thing and then they stopped it a year and a half in.
Okay.
And so I have all the emails with that too. So I was thinking of consulting a lawyer on that to see if I could get the back pay of 6 years of 2% raises that were not given to me.
Absolutely.
And then so I'd already kind of thought of consulting the lawyer on that. And then after this, I mean, this is discrimination.
Oh,
Like,
totally.
it totally is.
Totally is. So
Oh,
So if we were in circle at my house or somewhere right now, we would all yell to the top of our lungs. So, and it's okay that we're in this environment. It's kind of odd. Allison's in a public room, Jennifer's in a public area. So it's kind of hard, but will you do this for yourself, Tracy? Like, and it can be, if you need it, like, I want you to hear, it's like, I want you to hear the energy as you release it, because you're incredibly bright and intelligent, and we can get all the pieces in place for you to stand up for yourself and to be very level-headed. But unless you release the energy, it won't have the power behind it. And I just, as a circle, want you to be able to release.
I did yell when we did that exercise.
Oh, you did?
I did.
Okay.
But it didn't feel like it was the intensity of what I felt. Like, I tried to get it out, but it didn't feel like it even touched the surface.
So you're just starting to touch. So this is going to be need to be something that you do until it's like reptilian brain. It's the unleashed part that's frenetic. In fact, you'll connect to a level of your power that I think most women are scared to connect with. We are that powerful, and it's a healthy place to be enraged, and you're not hurting anyone by using your voice. And because once you can express it, it can start to like wake up the body to then engage the mind of like, okay, what do we do next? Right? You're a manifesting generator. You're a 3-5. You have a voice. Like, you can make this happen as far as like the logistics, but we need your whole body behind it. And the voice is the powerful medicine that's really needed here. So if you didn't feel it, not surprised.
Mm-hmm. Well, there's a confliction in there too, right? Because then part of me with the dog stuff, it's better that I didn't get to part-time this year.
So you see that
Financial.
Yeah.
So I feel the
That's
universe was watching out for me, and yet it gives me more for when I go in again and ask for part-time again, for me to say, you denied it last time, but now you've done this. I need part-time.
Yeah. So what I want to be, and this is for all of us, so especially for all, that very, very spiritually attuned, we often do the spiritual bypass. And in the spiritual bypass, we immediately see, oh, there's the good in it. Like there's the good, there's the blessing there, because that's how we're working in the world. Like we're like, okay, there, I'm not a victim, right? But if we skip the step of the raw energetics of the emotion, it'll still be stuck. So I hear how it served you. And please don't skip the step of the anger and the rage that's appropriate for what has happened. Do you hear the distinction?
Yes.
Okay.
It's wrong that it happened, although it worked out for my best good in this moment. The concept of what happened was super wrong and needs to be addressed.
Right. And so, yeah, I want you to think in terms of, if you don't speak up, this perpetuates the problem. Who's the next person that's going to be treated this way? So
Mhm.
not only are you a stand for you of how you were treated, you are the stand and the voice for women in the future that maybe they will act differently, right? And it's not like you're trying to punish them, but just, it's not okay. This is the patriarchal, construct needs to crumble for us to like have that voice. And I'm not anti-male, but I am anti, putting the whole structure ahead of your needs, especially as you said, it was health related.
Mhm.
It was health related. So if you're willing to do that, what I think will happen, Tracy, is you're going to find more and more of your power in your voice, which as a leader of the light, the people you are here to serve need you to do that and to be that. Because as you heal it, vibrationally, you're not only healing in this moment in time, but what about the stuff you came in with, the ancestral stuff when you weren't acknowledged for your power and you didn't have a voice? This is just a new 2023 version of it.
Mhm. Well, and I have told the principals that I work with what happened, and they're all like, that is so wrong. You need to write a letter and get it in writing.
And I
address
think
it.
you're right. Get legal advice before you do
So,
anything. Get legal advice.
because I mean, this is a systems thing, and I think it needs to be addressed and it needs to be brought out into the open.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Sisters, do you have anything else?
Thank you all. I appreciate all of you.
Absolutely. Anything else that you would like to reflect upon Tracy, or advice that you might have for her as we share in this sisterhood? Any advice or wisdom, Dr. Christie?
I mean, kind of looking forward, Tracy, and I think you and I have talked about that. And I know why you're holding on, or why you're still with them, because of, I think you said you have to be with them a certain number of years to collect something. But I also kind of feel like I said in the chat, synchronistic breadcrumbs. I think these signs, this keeps happening where there's a disregard and not a full appreciation and respect for what you do, not only what you do, but what you're capable of doing and what gifts you bring to those students and what gifts you bring to people. And I feel like really focusing on building this extra business now rather than waiting another year or two. And you're going to be so successful and you're going to make so much more money doing what you want to do on your terms and your time and charge what you want. And you've been in this community for so long that I can see you being very busy and very prosperous very soon. And maybe start like planting the seeds and watering that now, so that when that time comes for when you're ready to walk away, like I really just want you to just walk the fuck away from this.
I totally want you to walk away.
Oh God,
I totally want you to walk away.
Oh my God.
I have 1 year, 1 month till I hit my 20 years, which with para allows me to start pulling retirement at 55, and I'm 48 right now.
Okay.
So if I leave now, I have to wait till 65. So it's a 10-year difference and a big monetary difference if I don't stay that 1 year, 1 month.
So
Okay.
in this 1 year, that's what I'm saying, is really work on building this extra business that is absolutely everything that you love and you embody, and all the things that you've shared with me that you love to do, and the Dr. Joe work and the energy healing that you do. I mean, yeah, get that rolling now.
Absolutely.
I actually, my business is completely full. Like I have no vacancy in my private practice right now. So
Okay. All right. Well, Tracy, we are all rooting for you, and your homework really is, and you can do it however you want, but the voice is important. And so, yeah, if yelling into a pillow, but it has to be voice. It can also be like, if you want to go hook up with Allison and punch a bag, I think that would be really healthy. Like go to her studio and have her do a session with you. But like, there needs to be the voice is the fifth dimension. It's sound, right? And this is what is being called in this scenario. So yeah, let it
and
out.
I'll practice with the voice. And it was interesting when I was trying to yell, like I started coughing so bad.
Yep.
Like it's really was activating that. So I will definitely practice that.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Okay. Woo! Divine, you're doing the work for all of us, Tracy. Like you really are a stand for, yeah, the feminine rising. We have a voice and we can't be treated the way we've been treated. All right. Jennifer, let's hear from you, sister.
Can you guys hear me okay?
Mhm.
I feel like I've been on a journey with all of you today with like starting with Allison. I was like, oh yeah, that really resonates right now. I love that. And then just the same across the board with all of you and Tracy. I'm just like floored. I'm just like completely floored by your situation. You deserve so much more. And I'm a little bit verklempt today. When though, yesterday I woke up and I was like, oh, Shakti like invited me to her ceremony today. It's the Lion's Gate. It's all about manifestation. It's all about abundance. Day off. So I did everything for me that I needed to do. I wrote a script, like a sharing from the heart script to talk to my mom this weekend, because there's some things that need to be said. They've gone way too long without being shared authentically. I called my brother and tried to have a little conversation with him, and you know, breadcrumbs. And then today, you know, there's a whole list of things to do. And there's this one client that she's a bookkeeping client. You may or may not know that I don't do just bookkeeping. So I had made an exception for her. And this is where Allison's story kind of starts resonating is I knew she wasn't a good fit.
Yeah.
I knew she wasn't a good fit. I know that she has like philanthropic aspirations, but it's not US based, it's international. So that adds a whole component. I'm not doing the tax return. She's filing a joint return with her husband, but she wants tax advice from me. And it's just like, it's bleeding me dry. Like, and then QuickBooks Online explodes and things got delinked and duplicated and lost and all sorts of stuff. And I have to explain to her, well, listen, I can't just do this for free.
Wow.
This is taking at least two hours of my time, which was the conversation today. Anyways, long story short, you know, there's a disconnect. She's not getting what I'm putting down. I'm trying to be nice but direct about like, listen, this is not a problem that you created. It's not a problem that I created. You know, I gave you a project fee based on what I thought this was going to be, and something else has come up. And I can't give you an estimate on the time that it's going to take me because I just spent 2 hours on 2 months. Like, I don't know if it's going to get better or worse at this point. Every time I turn around, something else is messed up.
Yeah.
And it's not, and all the while it's even more difficult because I know this is not what makes my heart sing. I hate doing this shit. Hate it. And I can't get out of it because, well, let me rephrase that. I'm looking for ways to get out of it because I don't want to spend one more second doing something that depletes me.
Great awareness.
Because by the time by the time I get this freaking figured out, I'm gonna have zero energy today to start on the new client that was a higher ticket item. That is such a celebration. I didn't think she was gonna come through, but she came through. And like, that's where my energy needs to be. You know, it's a big step in the right direction. And so yeah, it's like being, I felt a little stuck until I did like my fake screaming.
Oh, wow.
And it's just like, how do I resolve this? You know, what's authentic, what works for her, what works for me. You know, she's talking about having her financial teacher look at the QuickBooks to figure out what's wrong. I'm like, no, I know what's wrong. I don't know why it happened, but I know how to fix it anyway.
Okay, so pause.
I digress. So that's where I'm at.
This is amazing. So pause. Can we all give it up to Jennifer? She just got a high paying client. It's something that she loves to do in alignment.
Thank you.
I really want to acknowledge
Thank you. I received that.
Yes. And so
Yeah.
well received, right?
Yeah.
Because
thank you.
That's what I want for all of you to get paid for the high vibe things you love. Like Dr. Christie, I know you're transitioning, and Tracy, like into more of the metaphysical, like it is such a gift. So Jennifer, you did that for you, and also the other women, you know, and Allison, it's like, it's all there for the taking. The other theme that I find so fascinating, boundaries. Is this the boundaries call, right? We could have just called it the boundaries call, right? And yeah, so the question that you're asking, so I want you to ask a very succinct question. And it's something around like, I'm trying to get, what is it here in the moment?
I know. What
how can I resolve this with ease, grace, and flow?
Yes.
Question I want to ask you.
That.
How can you resolve this with ease, grace, and flow? Is there opportunity? Do you know anyone? I know you know how to fix it, and sometimes it can be really hard to be the expert of the expert of the expert, and there's nobody else that can do it your way or how you do. Is there anyone that you could bring on to take over at this point? Are you too deep in it?
Not without having to give her a refund. I mean, I want to charge her more than because the problem is such that
Jennifer, it's breaking up. See if you can cut the video part maybe and just do audio, because you're breaking up.
Can you hear me now? I'll go back inside. Yeah, you can hear me? Okay. Yeah, it's like partly reputational. You know, I don't want to charge somebody money and then leave it a mess. And also, I do have somebody in mind. I've never worked with them.
Okay.
Yeah, I think part of it is really a surrender piece.
Yeah.
And an acceptance and an acknowledgement of, yes, I did create this situation. I take responsibility for the amount that I charge. I take responsibility for having that feeling that she wasn't a good fit, and I did it anyways out of lack, out of, you know, oh, it's a few extra bucks kind of thing. Yep. And so now it's surrender and just sitting down, getting it done, finishing it to where I feel it's appropriate to hand it off to somebody else.
Beautiful. How does that feel, that game plan?
It feels better than tormenting myself, but not, you know, it's not a full body, I feel fantastic.
Right. Because there's part of this that's, it's challenging. And it's interesting. The word from the quail medicine was disentanglement, right? It's like, it's you're disentangling where things didn't feel right. Mm-hmm. And so it's like a deeper, could you make a deeper promise? And this would be for you, Allison, too, and pretty much probably for all of us. Can we all make a deeper commitment to honoring our truth when something doesn't feel right, to honor it. Because Jennifer, if you could lead us all into that, then everyone benefits. There's an energy to that. So Jennifer, will you bring voice into your commitment?
Absolutely. I am definitely not doing anything that doesn't feel like a full body yes anymore. Period. The end.
Beautiful. Beautiful. All right, Allison, I'm gonna ask you to unmute yourself because this is where we could all verbalize a win here. In your own words, what are you committing to now moving forward?
I'm committing to being aware of how I'm feeling in every situation and circumstance, and I'm trusting myself and will proceed with every situation in that sense.
Beautiful. Oh, beautiful, Allison. Tracy, you want to get in on this when things don't feel right so that you can more deeply honor your intuition and guidance?
I listen to and honor my inner voice.
Beautiful. It's so simple. I listen to and honor my inner voice. All right, Dr. Christy, get in on it. This is a deep commitment, and y'all hold each other accountable. This is the sisterhood. All right, Dr. Christy, you're next in your own words.
So this just happened yesterday with a client that wanted a prescription refill, and she hasn't seen me in 2 months. And so I could have just quickly called it in, but I was like, no, you have to re-sign up for another program with me. You have to kind of reinvest in another program. And, you know, I'm happy to work with you again, but basically you have to pay to play. And so then I didn't hear back from her, and it just felt, and I love her. And it wasn't about her personally. It was just about me honoring my boundaries. So that was one thing, but also kind of living with integrity on the type of business that I want to create. And I really want to move forward into, you know, the direction of a dream business. And I keep putting this everywhere, like build the business of your dreams. And that's kind of, but that's also honoring who I am and who I'm growing into be. And so it's listening to what it is I really want and going after it.
Yeah, you're motivated by desire, right?
Yeah.
Your desires, girl? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like me. Okay.
Yeah.
Beautiful. If there were a baby step you were to take today into that dream business, and maybe it's something you've known you need to do, maybe you've been procrastinating, what might that baby step be?
Well, I'm already starting to get ideas on how I'm going to promote it, but it's still kind of this like open canvas, this blank slate. So last night I woke up in the early morning hours and I go to my notes tab on my phone, and I'll type in how I want to summarize or deliver the type of business. So I'm already starting to kind of jot down ideas and putting like pen to paper, so to speak, but it's actually on my computer. So the ideas are already starting to flow in. And I have somebody that is going to create a website. You know, I already have all the LLC, I already have everything in place.
Sure.
It's just me actually creating the content and actually building it. So I've started it since I've been back in
Oh, beautiful.
United States. Yeah.
And I know you're not still, you're not feeling it 100% too. So be gentle with yourself, Yeah.
But this is a perfect time, this downtime, this white space, it really is the perfect time to really put attention to that, to my desire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have a sense of, like, for your program, like how long of a program it's going to be?
I don't know. I might start out as a 3-month program. I mean, I'm still going to keep the Dr. Christy business, but maybe create a 3-month program and then transition that to more 6 months. Again, I haven't quite decided how, what I'm going to charge, how I'm going to put it together, but I want it to be different than my Dr. Christy business. Like, I don't want to keep going over lab tests and prescribing hormones and recommending supplements and diet. Like, all that's just kind of like what Jennifer was saying. Like, it doesn't fuel me anymore. It doesn't bring me happiness and fulfillment like it used to. And so this will be something that's kind of integrating coaching, mind body healing, a little bit of I can't take the functional medicine hat off completely, but it's going to be something that summarizes what it is I love to do, medical intuition, just things like that, and just build a program that's focused on behavior change. And
Cool.
yeah, but again, it's evolving.
I love it. I love it. Well, I know you and I haven't done the one-on-one yet.
Oh,
So
yeah.
it would probably be a good time to jump on that and see if we can kind of channel it for you.
Yeah, when you and I are both feeling better.
Exactly.
Maybe in 2 weeks.
Exactly. That sounds good. That
Thank you.
sounds good. All right, let's take so we've got about 13 minutes to be exact. Let's lean into this beautiful vortex that we have and into what else as the mind hive. I want you to think about how could we use these next 13 minutes to optimize. We have these amazing women on this call that can feed into you. What would your ask be? And I'm going to start with Allison. We're gonna spend a couple minutes with each person. How can we better support you? What could we brainstorm? How can we pour into you? What do you need?
Oh gosh, I really don't know. I don't know. I mean, it's good to hear everybody's going through something different, but at core, it's the same. And that we all have challenges and we're overcoming it, and we're really super powerful women. And we don't go into victim mode, which is really nice because most people do, and it's always like helping and healing. So it's nice to not be in that. And it's refreshing to hear everybody's outlook. And so I don't really know exactly what I need.
Are you going to need to
I don't
replace
know.
that coach?
Yes. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm gonna need to, I need employees. I'm doing, if I get sick, I'm screwed. Like I can't do this. Like I got a lot on my plate. So my goal is to get an employee. I don't know how I'm gonna do that. It'll happen.
Okay,
It'll
so
happen.
let's just take a moment to brainstorm that. Can we do
Yeah,
that even just for a moment?
I just need my numbers to get up. It's gonna happen. Like everything I know is gonna happen. I'm very confident it's gonna happen. I'm not scared anymore of like, how am I gonna make money? How am I gonna do this? It's happening because I have a different energy. So I know it's gonna happen.
Your energy, yeah, is
Yeah,
definitely, it is so
different.
grounded. Your word, like we should make it, we should get a t-shirt that says unshakable. Like you're owning it, right? Ladies, can you reflect back to her? Because it's one thing if I just say it, but like ladies, if you have any words to share with Allison, like what you're seeing, been a huge shift in her energy. I don't know if any of you can see it and bring words to it, but it's like, oh, it's profound. It really is.
It feels like there's a strength and a knowledge that knows what needs to be done there. And
Mhm.
even though it doesn't necessarily feel great at the moment, there's a solidity underneath it all. That feels like you kind of know those next steps and you're ready to move when it's time to move.
Yeah, I last Thursday, so I don't cry, and it's not because I cry a little bit here and there, but not it's unhealthy. There's reasons for it from the past. Last Thursday I freaking lost it. I had
Awesome.
a huge meltdown, and I realized like we're not bulletproof, and I don't need to act as I am bulletproof. And it was nice. It was cleansing, and I'm excited for the future. Like I just want to, yeah, my next thing is connections. Like I need genuine connections. I don't want just numbers. I want genuine connections. So that's my goal. And I'll get it. We'll get it.
Oh, I love it. And as I said, there's a gentleness with your energy now. Like it's almost like you're revealing your gentleness, which is part of the strength. Like it's much more feminine. And I think
Mhm.
I'll tell you, some of my biggest breakthroughs have been in those places where I felt most vulnerable, like to my knees.
Mhm.
Right. So I'm also seeing
Yeah.
that in you. It's like the gentleness, the feminine, right?
Mhm.
don't have to like power through to make it happen anymore. It's like there's this deeper wisdom that I'm seeing progressing with you, which
Yeah.
is very feminine and very
Thank you.
soft.
Thank you.
Yeah, beautiful, beautiful. Yeah, and so let's all envision more clients for you and your next ideal coach and
Mhm.
employee. Right? Ladies, will you hold that in your vision for Allison this week as you go into prayer and meditation? We can totally do that for you.
Thank
Dr.
you guys.
Christie said, let's meet for coffee in Boulder or wherever you live. I'd love to know more about you and support you. Beautiful.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Thank you.
wonderful. All right. Tracy, what do you feel like you need? Like that we could just take another moment to like pour into you.
I will probably, and I mean, it's not necessarily just today, but it might be over the next few months, is I'm someone that I feel like I try to live my life in integrity and really pride myself on really doing that. And in the way that my job description is written with my leave, like sick leave and personal time. When it comes to sick leave, there's very specific qualifications on when I can use it. And I have a crap ton of time, sick leave, like 20 days of sick leave and almost probably about 10, 15, maybe 20 of personal also. But I'm trying to in my head wrap, and you guys are going to be able to support me with this pretty easily, that taking care of my mental health by going to like meditation retreats should be classified as sick leave.
Yes.
So I should be able to use my sick time to go to my meditation retreats.
I totally agree.
And so I just need support from others that, hey, that's taking care of your mental health, even though you're volunteering for Dr. Joe, that is taking care of your mental health. You earned those days, you need to take them. So I need encouragement, because I think that's the other thing is when I leave the district, I lose all my time. They don't pay it out for me based on the way my position's written. So having 40 days right now to use in basically a 1-year period of time is I need to use those days and not just go back and go, okay, well, I'll take the personal day, because the personal days I can take for anything. But in my head, I really have a hard time calling in sick when I'm not sick.
Okay.
And I know there's a big training they have planned for me the same week that I'm going to be in Marco Island working for Dr. Joe in September. So Marco Island in September for Dr. Joe is much more what my body needs than doing another how to work with behaviors training, because I know how to work with behaviors in a school.
Exactly. Absolutely. So everyone raise their hands. We're gonna bestow upon Tracy the acknowledgement that absolutely these retreats, we give full sisterhood permission to take these as health days, as sickness days, right? Like full on. So I think some of this is just hearing. Absolutely, you're spot on in your integrity, because the flip side of this, if you don't take it and not just trying to get these 40 days out, like you're going to be able to give more. Like you've got to take care of that mental health, and absolutely. So
Can I
yes.
just say something, Tracy? I'm the same. I've been the same way for over 15 years with working. Like I am huge on integrity. I want to be loyal. If I am saying I'm going to be there 8, 9 out, I'm there. And I've always been the one to accumulate 120 hours, right? Use it or lose it. And everybody's going. This year, I've taken sick days for my mental health, and it feels amazing. It feels good. Like we give so much, and it's there to use. So it's not like you're using it, you know.
I think my big thing is I have to call in for 5 days. So it's 5 days in a row that I'm going to be out. So I'll be out a whole week. And how do I set that up without it getting questioned? And then if it gets questioned, how do I respond to it? So that's where I'm like, but
Yeah.
yes, I'm glad other people, like, because, you know, I'm in mental health and they always preach about this, but then when it comes down to it, you know, they don't really look at mental health as that way.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you all. I'll just need reminders of that when times get closer, and then they're telling me this training is mandatory, and I'm going, I'm not going to be there. So
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. You're a stand for mental health. Right.
and I'm taking I'm taking the first week back at school in January also off to go to another Marco Island. So
Look
so
at
I'll get
that
a 3-week
smile on her
Christmas
face.
break.
Wow. You're worth
So,
it. You're worth it.
thank you all.
Absolutely. A lot of what we come up against with these kinds of things is like giving us permission to feel worthy. Like a lot of these things are here, and it's just time that we claim them and that we're worthy. Like there is that, it circles back to the worthiness, whether it's, you know, deserving of the personal days and the 6 days, to, you know, requiring that people treat you a certain way, to saying yes when people what there. Recently I was at the eWomen Network group, and there was a woman that she came up to me and she's like, Dr. Kelly, you're not going to believe it. She goes, I sold this jewelry piece, and from that integrity piece, she didn't bring any jewelry to the event because they make it very clear you can't have like the suitcase of things that you're selling and bring people back to your room. I mean, they're very clear. And this woman is of integrity. And anyway, she was wearing this piece, and this woman was like, I want to buy that. And she's like, oh, okay, I guess that's okay. Like, I'm not trying to sell. And so she said, how much is it? And she said, it's 175. She goes, oh my gosh, that's ridiculous. She goes, well, I need to pay you at least 200. Right. So where are we not giving ourselves permission to feel worthy when the universe wants to give it to us? So it's kind of like those personal days. Like, are we like, oh no, and we keep on waiting like a squirrel, trying to like hold them up and like, oh, I'll use them someday. But you know what, you're worthy of all the stuff now, and give yourself permission to receive it. So Dr. Christie says, you've got this, Tracy. Mental health retreats, breaks, even just one day are essential. Totally agree. All right, it is 1:29. So Dr. Christie, real fast, do you have any need? I didn't, and we'll just do need and golden nugget so that we can wrap up as close to on time as we can. So Dr. Christie, do you have any needs?
Yeah, I have no problem crying. I'm a crier, and I tend to just, that's how I release a lot of stuff. So yesterday was a shit show day. I really fell apart. Today I'm more together, and that's why you're like, oh, you're so composed, and you're so, like, yesterday was not that. So for me, it's consistency. It's kind of looking at the further vision, the future vision of what I want, and holding, I don't know, I'm really good at self-care. So it's just it's helping me to stay consistent with my goal and my dream and my purpose, and not straying too far and getting too scattered and getting too doubtful, which tends to happen to me. I freak out because things aren't happening in the way that I want. So it's really just, maybe it's the confidence and knowing, like I said to you earlier in the chat, trusting the process.
Yeah.
For me, I need to trust the process. I need to have trust in the unknown, trust that it's going to work out okay. And that's what I need to work on, is, like you said, when you don't often know what's in front of you because it's dark and you can't see it, and you're fumbling and you're confused and you're upset, it's just trusting it's going to unfold in the way that it's supposed to, and in the time that it's supposed to. So I guess, I don't know if I answered the question, but I need to trust in myself.
Yeah. Deep trust.
Yeah.
Deep trust and surrender. You're really showing that surrender. And that emotional cleansing of like allowing those tears to come, and or the anger or whatever it is, you know, it's like being okay with not being okay. And when we're really okay with not being okay, often it will pass. But when we resist it and try to push it away, it's when it lingers more. It's very fascinating. So so thank you, Dr. Christie. All right. I'm trying to orient because we're 1:31. All right. One liner, golden nugget. And my golden nugget is for you, Dr. Christie. And my golden nugget is. Oh, we can't hear you.
Sorry. It's okay to not be okay, and to trust the process and just keep moving forward.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful. And for all of you, if you haven't used your one-off with me, like, let's do it. It's a beautiful time. We're about 5 months into the program. Let's finish with a bang. All right, Tracy, your gold nugget is
Being open to allowing support from you guys.
beautiful. I love it. We're totally there to support you. And we can't wait to see these mental health retreats. And you and Dr. Krista are great power partners, because what I heard her say, she said, I'm really good at the self-care, right? So when we get someone that's like, I'm really good with the self-care, with someone else that's like, not so good with the self-care, or someone that's like, oh, I cry all the time, with someone who's like, find it really hard to not cry. Like, these are power partners we're speaking the language. All right, Jennifer, my gold nugget is.
I don't really know. I just got locked out of that QuickBooks account.
Oh
And
my
I
God.
got a text message that says, sorry, $200 an hour is too much to pay.
Well, sounds like the universe.
I'm gonna have my mentor look at it. Please send me an invoice. I'm like, I don't really know what to do with that. None of that feels in integrity. So sorry, that's not a nugget, but that's more of a need.
That's okay. So your need, as I'm hearing it, is to stay in integrity and ask yourself
Yeah.
the question, how do I resolve this with ease, grace, and flow? That's your question. And
There you
ask your
go.
sacrum. Ask your sacrum, start brainstorming. Could it be this? I could do this. Sacrum, because you're sacral authority. Okay. You've got
Yeah.
this. Got this, Jennifer.
Okay.
All right, Allison, you're going to bring us home, sister. Bring us home. And the golden nugget is
Just believe in everything. Believe in everything. You, universe, people, process, everything. Believe.
Aho. All right, ladies, sending you so much love, so much light. This coming Monday will be a money day. So be sure, let's look at our money, and it's a wrap.
Thank
See you.
you, Dr. Kelly.
you.
Bye, everybody.
Bye. Thank you all.